Let's talk about the real reason why she's leaving you. You're not going to like this video if you don't like brutal, honest truth. But if you're someone who respects that as much as it hurts, then you should watch this. But click away if that's not the case, because I'm not going to sugarcoat anything in this video. Most times when a woman leaves a man, you want to search for answers. Tell me what I did wrong. Give me the honest truth, because then I can know what not to do anymore. I can fix it. I can fix it. You know, in the course of 10 plus years, literally 10,000 hours and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients, I've dealt with a lot of men who've lost a lot of women. And I'll tell you my story too in this video and the 3 main reasons why she's really leaving you. But I have to let you know, she's not going to tell you the truth for 2 reasons. She either is really nice and she doesn't want to hurt you, which I know you don't care. You just want to know the reason why, but she's nice. She doesn't want to hurt you. She likes you. She cares about you as a person. Or she doesn't even know. It's just a feeling in her heart, in her mind, her heart mainly is what women say, that she can't describe. She just has to trust that feeling. I'm going to tell you where that feeling is really coming from. Because I've heard women say, I'm leaving you because of religious difference. I'm leaving you because of the money. I'm leaving you. I've heard every little excuse. I've heard the excuse. I'm leaving you because you didn't like my dog. Those are all BS, quite honestly. They are rational, thinking, logical decisions that you need from her. They're all based in this feeling. And if you don't want to lose her or go through the same heartbreak, you have to know the truth. And it's not going to be pretty. Part of it isn't your fault because you were given a faulty blueprint about what it means to be successful in a relationship as a man. Our society tells you that you have to be a good provider. You have to provide for her. You have to get the good job. You have to be the perfect husband, happy wife, happy fucking life, right? And if you just showed up in that way, that she should respect, admire, be loyal, and love you. Now, I'm not going to mitigate the importance of being a provider male. That is important. Provide for her, yes. But what I've learned through personal experience, I did my thesis on this in grad school and I freaking wrote a book on it, is it's 50% of the equation why a woman stays with a man. And it's the same reason why, if you're only offering that 50%, why a woman will leave a guy, a nice guy on paper, who everyone says, oh my gosh, she's so lucky to be with you. You have so much going for you. But yet she goes toward a guy who's has nothing going on in his life. And it makes men feel so confused. It happened to me. Because that other guy is giving her something, a lot of things that you are not, that you haven't been. Let's go through the 4 noble truths about attraction, dating, and relationships for women. The first is, women decide, especially in relationships, on pure emotion, not logic. This is why a woman will leave a man of 25 plus years, 3 kids, tied up businesses together, decades of memories, because she doesn't feel good with that man in the moment. She doesn't give a damn about all that logical crap. It's all in the past to her. All she cares, all that drives her and motivates her moving forward with you or not, is how she feels with you. A lot of men hear this and they think, that's BS. It's why are women like that? They argue with reality. And bro, I'm gonna let you know, like, if you have that approach and you argue with it, you're gonna be pretty frustrated in life. If you don't get on, hate the player, hate the game kind of thing, right? That's the game. That's the way women operate. You can choose to get good at it and understand them, or you can choose to complain. Pick one. The second noble truth about relationships is that those emotions must be in a golden relationship ratio, which I'll tell you more in a second. The third is that emotion is based inherently on thousands and thousands and thousands of years of inherent evolutionary psychology. That we were evolved, women evolved to find certain traits in a man to meet those emotional needs based on biology that they cannot control. Either you have them or you don't. And if you have them, they're all about you. You're their personal God. They love you forever. And if you fail to meet those needs emotionally, she will leave you like that. And the fourth noble truth is that those needs, those emotions, can only be met through your actions, not your words, only through action. It really sucks because so many people are ignorant of the fact of this first noble truth of logic versus emotion. You'll see online so much that, all women care about is money, all they care about is height, all they care about is looks. And why that's prevalent is because a lot of men are projecting their own logic into how a woman works. And it's a confirmation bias, which means they believe that, so they're only seeing that. When if you actually get to know women, you talk to them, you see their true actions, that those things don't matter as much. They are important, remember, the 50% of the equation. But so many guys get it twisted in thinking the blueprint to stay happy, to never be abandoned, to have a successful, healthy relationship is to meet this criteria. That I make the good money, that I do all that crap. That just doesn't matter as much as you would think. Because let me tell you, if you know these two guys, one guy is a billionaire. He's tall, good looking, all the things on paper. And he doesn't meet these other needs, this other equation. And there's this other guy who meets all that, but he has a minimum wage job and he's like average looking. I don't care what you believe. I'm basing this off thousands of hours in my own personal stories and men I've worked with over the years. The woman chooses this guy 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. So let's go over briefly a couple of these traits. I'm going to give you the general concept of these traits and then we'll go into practicalities and specifics later. Presence, emotional attunement, leadership, novelty, challenging and passing your test. All of those are the main 5. I'm going to go into them. I'm just going to let you know what they are now. If you offer these sides of the equation to meet those emotional needs, that increases more positive emotional responses in her and it feeds into the golden relationship ratio. Now this golden relationship ratio, it's not something I created. It's based on science. It's based on studies where Dr. Gottman is this relationship researcher and he said that in order to have a successful relationship, what he's seen is that couples that stay together had a 4-to-1 ratio. Now, when you look at this 4-to-1 ratio, a lot of guys who are people pleasers, who have anxiety, what they do is that they'll try to do this, all these positive experiences, no negative experiences, don't create conflict. When she's upset, try to solve her problems. They get anxiety around it, right? Because if she's upset, she may leave me. And what that does over years and years and years is it makes the woman feel bored. It makes the woman feel unfulfilled. She loses attraction for you because you don't have a backbone. That's the kind of man you are. If you're the kind of man that thinks, I'm doing all these things, I'm spending all this money on her, I'm buying her trips, buying her bags, I'm taking her around the world, I'm doing all these practical, logical things to make her like me, you're falling victim of this idea that you are this provider male. It's 4-to-1 because this one is important. When there is conflict, it is important to go into it, to not skate away. This is why this other guy we talked about, who has nothing on paper, he has a backbone, he has conflict, he challenges her, he passes her tests, he leads her. When she's upset, he goes into that. Women need challenge in a relationship as much as you need challenge in every other domain of your life. If you went in your job, where you play video games, or whatever the heck you do for fun, there's a certain modicum of challenge in it for you to have fun. For the woman, it's the same thing. They need challenge in a relationship to be stimulated. This is why all women, will test men. They bring up this drama and these problems, seemingly from insignificant little things. It's like, why are you making this a big deal? It's because that drama, they feed on the range of emotions. A woman doesn't want just peace, like most men do. We want contentment and challenge. That's us, right? Think of sports, right? Football. Going against the other team, challenge, push back, fight back. Oh my God, lost some yards, going forward, touchdown, exaltation. That's us, men. That's the masculine. For a woman, it's the drama. It's the ups, downs, lefts, right. It's all the jealousy, the envy, the fighting. It's all what they crave. They want to experience every emotion in this world. And you rob them of that if you're this nice guy. You rob them of that golden relationship ratio. A better way to say this is that human beings want what we can't have. And if you're always trying to placate, people please, be that nice guy, you're putting her on a pedestal. You're seeking her validation. And a woman is only with a man that she looks up to. And part of this process of challenging her, passing her tests the correct way, that allows her to see you on this pedestal herself, where she feels like, oh, he's willing to lose me. He doesn't need me. He wants me, but he doesn't need me. And a woman only is with a man that wants her and doesn't need her. Another way to really encapsulate this idea of that if you're this nice guy that doesn't succumb to the correct relationship ratio, the golden ratio, is if you don't set proper boundaries. If you compromise who you are at times just to please her, even if it's so subtle, so small, she recognizes that. She knows the things you've said in the past and then compromising on that later. And she loses a little bit of respect for you each and every time. A little bit of attraction. She fights more with you. She gives you more opportunity to pass those tests, but you keep on failing them because you're afraid. You're afraid of losing her. However, if you set these clear boundaries saying that if you cross this, I'm willing to end this whole entire relationship, and you mean it, she'll skate close to the boundary. She'll skate pretty close. She'll test you, but she won't cross it if she believes you, if she believes that you will leave her. A woman wants to be with a man that is able to walk away from her. Not only does this process of setting healthy boundaries help with your own internal self-worth, but it literally triggers her DNA that she cannot control wanting to be attracted to you, wanting to be with you. It's those guys where the woman's just like, I just can't help it. There's something about him. I go back to him every time. Now, sometimes that's said in the context of an a-hole, right? But you can have this healthy middle ground that we'll talk about. You don't have to be the a-hole or the nice guy. There's this apex male that I talk about. But this guy has those healthy boundaries that triggers her DNA responses. Attraction is not a choice. She cannot control wanting to be with this guy. And she won't be able to control wanting to be with you if you learn how to set these healthy boundaries and create this golden relationship ratio. Now, this is based in evolutionary psychology. There's a book called Sex at Dawn, Sperm Wars, plenty of other books really highlighting this. And I did my whole entire thesis, as I said, on this. And what I found in my thesis and the hundreds of studies I read was there's key traits that a man must have, behavioral traits, that trigger these evolutionary responses in women. Now, this is posited a lot of different ways. The easiest way for you to comprehend is the masculine versus feminine traits. I don't care how stubborn she is, how independent and confident things you love about her are, she is a woman. And a woman wants to be in her feminine trait. Feminine is that relaxation, it's that having fun, it's the woman you love when she's happy, you're on top of the world. But that's only triggered when you are in your masculine. And if she goes into her masculine, it's because you are in your feminine. She has to step up and make decisions because you can't do it for her because you're afraid. The first one is leadership. How often have you just placated and, the whole dinner thing? What do you want for dinner? I don't know. You choose. Make a decision. Always make a decision. Let her say no to you. She wants you to give her a decision because when she has to decide, it creates anxiety in her, and that anxiety takes her out of her feminine state. As an example, the other day, I was working with a client, and they were choosing paint for the house, and he didn't give a damn what color the paint was. He really didn't. But he said, hey, I like this and I like this. What do you like? And that's the framework I give people. You like these two things, and then give them the opinion. Say, I want this. What do you want? Just always choose. It's super simple. The next is dominance. Now, dominance can go throughout multiple domains of your life. Physical dominance, spiritual dominance, financial dominance, emotional dominance. There's all these different domains that you can be dominant in. Even the way you speak conveys dominance, especially the way you speak. Do you talk in a deep tonality? Are you relaxed in your body posture? Do you make strong eye contact? These things, I mean, I can watch so many men talking to their wives and they just cower into this low status, people pleasing. They shrivel up, they talk really fast. At the end of their statements, it's a upward inflection, which creates, I need rapport, understand, help me. It's like, that's the way women speak. It's like,
hey, do you want to go to the movies?
Versus, hey, we should go to the movies. Big difference, okay? Dominance financially, most of the guys I work with are, so that's not an issue for you probably. Physically, have you let yourself go? She'll say she doesn't care. Oh, I don't care if, oh, I love you no matter what. That's what her conscious brain is saying. Look at women looking at, I say looks aren't as super important, but it is a domain. If you lose a lot of weight, if you get in your best shape of your life, you don't think she'll notice that? That you're dominating your own body? You need to rise up. This is the thing that Red Pill has correct, is that women inherently want the higher value man. There's no denying that. Have you let yourself go? Most guys, when they get in a relationship, because all the women's test, they kind of become complacent. Oh, I just work's been busy and stressed out and this thing. It's all a damn excuse, man. It's all a damn excuse. It's all priorities. So many guys, it's like, oh, it was too busy for you when, things were good, but now that she's pulling away from you, now you're going to the gym 6 days a week. It's funny how priorities change when, stuff changes in your life, right? Take care of yourself, man. Your ability to take care of yourself, to strive towards having ambition, conquering life, like grabbing your freaking balls and owning life, right? I'll get a little crude on you, but damn, man, right? Like have that masculine energy in you. She loves that. And so many guys, especially nowadays, testosterone's down, percentage point per year, right? Guys get depressed, they get in the victim mode. Whoa, poor me. She doesn't want to be with that guy. She can't be with that guy. It is agonizing for her to be with that man. Look, I can speak with so much confidence about this because of my story. I wrote the book on people pleasing, man, the nice guy. One quick story. Which one should I tell you in my archive of hundreds of stories about being a nice guy? Jeez, I had a huge crush on a girl. Massive crush all throughout high school. Finally got the courage to ask her out, and I was like on cloud nine when she said yes. Like, oh my God, you're actually gonna go out with me. And I forgot to pick her up to school one day. I would take her to school. Heart sunk into my stomach. I was so down on myself. I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna leave me. I can't believe I didn't pick her up to school. She had to walk a whole 10 minutes to school. This was my favorite train of thought back then. I left class, skipped class, show her how much I care. I bought her a sorry card and chocolate. I walked up to her, so confident, holding that chocolate in the card. Oh, she's gonna forgive me. We're gonna be great again. The look in a girl's eyes when all the attraction dies is something you never forget, my man. Something you never forget. She left me for another guy. I get this. That's one of many stories, okay? Last thing is action over words. She doesn't give a damn what you say. She only listens to your actions. This is because you shouldn't listen to what a woman says either. Only listen to her actions. A man's word is so much more important. If you have integrity, which you should, which you probably do, when you lie to yourself, you feel it. Women, they don't see it as a lie when they say one thing and then do another because it's how they feel. So this is a beautiful thing because they only listen to your actions. If I give you the perfect blueprint of what to say to her test, which I'll tell you to pass in a second, but if I tell you what to say to her, it won't matter because it's not legit. If it's not legit, if you still need her, I can give you the perfect line to say. I taught guys dating for a long time, and I would get guys asking me, Josh, what's a confident line I can say to a girl? What's a good pickup line? What's a good line to show her that I'm confident? Dude, even if I gave you the exact line that would work for me, you walking up and saying that line, this is what she hears. Hey, I'm confident. Did you know I'm confident? Listen to how confident I am. I'm super confident. It's conveying the opposite. It's conveying the opposite. You have to learn how to go deep within, understand what's really causing this needy behavior, and fix those limiting beliefs. It's easier than you think. It's identifying, taking correct action. That's it. That's it. But no one taught you how to do this. I had to go to grad school for it, right? Now, when it comes to passing your test, this is the biggest action you can take to prove that you've changed. And the only way to fail her test is to fall into her reality, is to react to her. This is the whole pedestal effect as well. If you're basing your decisions and your emotions and your thoughts and who you are as a man based on her actions, you are in the feminine state. You are reacting to her. However, if she criticizes you, she pulls away, she does things to question if she wants to be with you, and you react, you failed the test. As an example, the wife pulling away in any way. So a lot of guys I work with, the wife will either say, I want you to move out, I'm moving out, seeing this other guy, here's the divorce papers. As much as for you those words mean a lot to her, she's saying, hey, I'm pulling away, how are you gonna react? I see you as low value, I'm tired of this relationship, you're not the man that you promised you were for me. I'm leaving. What are you gonna do? 99% of people react. They beg, they plead, they use the kids, they use logical approaches. It's the one thing you shouldn't do. You have to accept why she's doing what she's doing. Learn from those mistakes. Take correct action on them. Learn how to become unreactive. That is 80% of the battle. Pareto's principle, 80-20 rule. Stop making the same damn mistakes. 80% done. The other 20% is just consistently over time. I want to end by telling you the biggest story that helped me create this awareness and this change in myself. It was recognizing the truth about what women actually give me. Probably you. And I wish my words can just enter into your cerebellum, stay in there, go down to your heart. It's the biggest path of learning from here to here. And it stays there, stuck inside, and you freaking get it, but here we go. What is validation? What is she really giving you? Do you want sex? You just want her to be closer. You want her, right? 2 insights actually in this. What you are seeking is an emotional state. You want her to give you a feeling, right? You want her to make you feel good. Validation feels good. Sex feels good. That inherently means you feel bad without her. You are relying on something external to make you happy. She's only with a guy that is full himself. It doesn't need her. Okay? First big insight. What she gives you, you can create on your own. Learn to feel good yourself by following all the previous steps I said. Secondly, rejection is never final. I can't tell you how many times I've seen I have a coach in my program. Her name's Liz. Her and her husband divorced. They got back together. They went through the whole bloody process. Thousands of dollars spent, yelling, I hate you, all this stuff. And now they're back together. How often does it happen? I think statistics say pretty rare, but it happens. The distinction here, or this is the important thing you should know, is that rejection is never final. But if you believe it is, if you believe her saying she wants to move out, I'm questioning the marriage, what you did is that she's in this dual mind narrative. She's like, I'm not sure. Here's a test. I think I might want to leave you. And then you react. It confirms that this is it, man. You lost. You lost her. It's over. However, if you recognize, wow, this is an opportunity. Her pulling away is an opportunity for me to better myself. Thank you for showing me what I've been lacking. What a gift she's given you. What a fucking gift she is giving you right now. Once you learn you can be okay without her, she comes back. That's it.